This is part 6. Create a 2D RPG turn-based game. In this tutorial we're going to cover animated tiles. For this example we're going to animate a bit of water here, kind of go through and explain how the animated tile system works. First of all, you can see I drew a little pool out here already. It's pretty simple. Let's turn on the fade back on and the grid for this demonstration. And you can see on layer 1 I put what you'd see on the very bottom of the pool. Layer 2 is basically all the pathing, and with the player on layer 4 this will all appear underneath them. Layer 3 here, we're going to do a little bit of a different trick. For this, let's go to the water tile here, and the way this was made is in every 4 it's going to reanimate itself into new blocks, so we need to draw this out into 4s. Basically like so. We'll do it there, and then add this piece for the next piece there, which you can see each thing loops into the next one. The next step, once again, make sure you're on the same layer as the tiles you want to animate. You can get some pretty funky results if you put this over a tile set that was never meant to have it. Go ahead and select the pre-made little animated water thing here, made just for this tile set. Of course it could be adjusted for another tile set. What you want to do is go ahead and select that and place one down on the water there. Go back into the pointer mode and make sure you have the event selected. The way these animated events work is with the tile animation, it's going to affect any tile that it comes into collision with. So what we're going to want to do is stretch this event out over and make sure it's covering each one of the tiles that we want to animate. I'm going to go through kind of a quick breakdown of how this thing works. First of all, this little color thing here, you may notice that it's different from the previous events we did with the zone and teleport. And those are the standard white. For this one, because it's animating water, I went ahead and made a blue to represent that, but it could literally be, I mean, any color that you want. It really doesn't matter. And here's where all the magic happens. Frames, basically, it says 10 frames, so it's going to go every 4, and it's going to go along that picture here with the water, and it's going to go every 4. So it's going to do that 4 on the first frame, that 4 on the next frame, which causes it to give it like a fluid motion to it. And that's the reason we started out and did that, and then looped the next one. Otherwise you would get kind of a jittery effect from that. Skip frames, that's once again, that's the 4 it's going by. So every 4 it knows that it comes in sets of 4, and it's going to skip every 4 frames to do each one. Tile animation, this is basically the flag to enable that. If that was set false, it's going to go ahead and ignore any of these attributes here. Timing, this is of course the speed, as it says down in the property descriptor. It's the number of milliseconds between each frame, so it's going to fire every 80 milliseconds. Could fire faster than that, but it's pretty significant animation for the way the water looks. Let's go ahead and test this out, make sure that everything works. Actually, real quick, one thing I do want to set from previous tests, I really don't like walking over to the middle of this village every time it starts, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and show you how the player changes the start location, which is pretty simple. You just select a little guy, and you just remove him to the location you want. Of course, if I would have took note, I could have typed in over here on the location the exact tile, but it appears I'm using a drag method to get him over there. It's still significant. It will work, I think. Alright. Anyways, that's significantly closer there. And let's go ahead and test, make sure the water animation and everything works out right. Show you how this ends up looking. Much better. Now I don't have to walk half a mile to get over to the little test area we're using here. So let's go ahead and go down, see the way our water looks. Not too bad. I think it looks nice and fluid, gives that nice 3D appearance to it. You can actually do effects that'll change the player's animation. Of course, it would be a later tutorial I'd show that, but you flag him to change state as he went into that water, and you could basically give him a swimming graphic to go through that. Fairly simple process, but yeah, that's another tutorial. Right now, there's basically no properties yet. We didn't draw the collision out, so looks like he can walk on water here. So. Anyways, that is this tutorial. That is animated tiles. Remember that there's no limits to what these can do. You can change the properties for all of them, have it animate just about anything, grass swaying, water, you name it, whatever your imagination can come up with. Stand by, and I hope to have another tutorial out here as soon as I have the next one out. Thank you very much.